Everybody's all in. Come join the show where treasures hide and good vibes grow. From finds to laughs, let's begin. You know the name, Avery's All In.
Hey, what's happening? It is Friday evening, 6 p.m. here in Northeast Ohio, and welcome to
Avery's All In Live.
There we are.
We made it to the weekend.
Yes.
How is everybody doing? Hi, Chris. Welcome in. Hey, Mad Dog. Good afternoon and happy Friday.
6 p.m. here. It's evening, baby. It's evening. It's
Okay.
almost dinner time.
Yes, and that won't be happening for a while because I'm cooking chicken noodle soup and I thought I would be able to have it ready and then we could just end our live and eat. But no, I still have to cook it.
It's all right. I had a snack right before we got started.
But it's pretty
It's that time of year.
it's not going to take me long. I just have to chop some celery and onions and then cook that down and then throw the noodles in. The chicken's already cooked and shredded. So can you guys hear us? Because Roy just plugged the mics in. Are we talking to the air?
I don't know. We're talking to someone.
Hey, Karen. Good evening.
That explains why I didn't do what it was supposed to do during the test. I didn't realize it wasn't plugged in.
Oh my God.
I heard you very good the whole time.
Oh, okay,
See,
good.
there's the mic on the computer, so we're good.
Right. Yeah.
We can hear better after the mic was plugged in.
Oh,
there
good.
we go.
Thanks, Conky.
Okay.
And hello.
Hello,
Welcome.
Yep. So with the weather the way it is, I mean, this is soup weather. So
Oh,
soup,
yes.
chili. I actually
chili might be on the rotation soon
Yeah.
too.
I didn't tell you, but I took some books from one of the units we got recently. And I mean, I got some crock pot recipes that we're going to, it's that time of year.
Well, I was
Speaking of crock pot though, the other day at the warehouse.
yeah. So we spend long days at the warehouse and we have a refrigerator over there, a little kitchenette area, but we don't do a lot of cooking. And we've always talked about like cooking in the crock pot at the warehouse, putting it in the morning and it's ready later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally did that after how many years of talking about it. I finally did it on Tuesday, maybe. Yes,
What's
because
today, Friday?
we did our Whatnot Live on Tuesday at 8:00, and so I knew we'd be there all
Okay.
day. So I put a small little roast in. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Mississippi pot roast, but it's pretty easy. It's
No.
what? Well,
I have now though. Okay.
that's what it's called, but it's well, I can't say all the ingredients because Roy might not like it after I say what's in it, but it's just a few ingredients in a crock pot to include those little peppers, and some juice.
That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
Pepperoncinis.
I know. I'd have you at
And Chris said, I
pepperoncinis.
bet it was good.
Oh yes, it's really good.
Mad Dog said it's below 30 there.
Wow.
Yeah. And you should get an air fryer. We got one. We get those. Believe me, we get them.
We actually have a brand new air fryer sitting on the floor in the kitchen at the warehouse. And
Do we?
yes. I've just never there's not a lot of counter space. So we have a toaster oven that we use a lot of times
Yes.
for reheating things. So there's not a lot of space for the air fryer, and I haven't it came out of a storage unit, so I need to clean it out, and I haven't cleaned it out yet. So it will get there.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year or two. It takes us a while for things like I need to sweep and mop the floors over there. But we have all these area rugs.
Yes.
to kind of like keep the dirt in versus if it's, just all like swirling about as like
It swirls about though.
walk in and out. Anyway, I brought the Swiffer and the Swiffer pads over, and one day it'll actually get Swiffered, but I don't know. It'll be a while. Everything happens in a process.
Yes.
In phases.
Well, that's kind of how everything works anyway, though. I mean, you can't do it all at one time. So, and you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know what you need to do yet until it happens.
Yeah, but when you see the cobwebs and all the little corners of
like
everywhere.
until you don't know what you don't. Anyway,
yeah.
Mad Dog said that the windshield, it gets better next week, Monday. It's going to be 30 above. Gotcha.
Probably wind chill. But yeah, so we have some weather coming in to the area.
Yeah, but we don't get that cold.
No, it's not going to get that cold, but it's definitely going to.
It's not till like
snowy.
Third week of January that usually will drop, and that's when like we'll see like right at 0 or just a little below, or single digits. But yeah, we don't get that cold, 30 below.
No.
So.
Yep, you're right, Chris. It's still too cold.
Yeah.
Yes, I love area rugs too. I have them like really. I have an abundance of them, but they're just nice that you can put in areas where you need a little like softening or a pop of color, or even like really, we have one coming into the front hallway of the warehouse.
J&J just got in. What's up, J&J?
So that like people can, if their shoes are wet or snowy, they're not like slipping on the linoleum or whatever kind of floor is right there. So
I will say, if you're in cold weather, I'm going to show this because that is how we get salt around here. You know what I mean? So that is the salt dome that's local, and I got to show it because if we're talking about cold weather, that whole
that's salt,
tote in that garbage, that the tote and the garbage can are loaded with salt. And not only that, I had to shovel all of this myself. It's crazy. But I ended up with that. And then in the back of the truck, I had almost a ton of salt. I shoveled yesterday evening in probably about 20 minutes to a half hour because I had to do it in stages, simply because I knew once I shoveled it, I couldn't lift the tote. So I had to do like the tote in the truck, fill it up with 5-gallon buckets, push it to the front, do the next one. So, but yeah, that's how we get salt around here.
That's not how everybody gets salt. That's how we get salt. But
like I said, that's how we get salt around here.
What he's referring to is a place that's open to the public that like the local city service departments go to as well to service the city streets. But it's open to the public, and you can buy the salt by the ton.
But it's several of them around.
You can bring your own containers and you fill up, and however much you need. I mean, you can go there and just fill up a 5-gallon bucket, right? If that's what you wanted. Yeah. Like if you had a small area.
You could do that. And actually, if you look around, there's places kind of actually across the region you can do that. Some of them only sell like 5-gallon buckets. Some will do the 5-gallon buckets themselves and you can pick up. But I went to a place where I shoveled and got, the best deal I could for doing it myself.
Yeah. And how long is that going to last us probably?
So the last time we did it, I did close to half a ton, and it took 3 years or 3 seasons to go through it. So I'm expecting, because I filled up that garbage can and the tote that was on the back of the truck. That was basically what I did 3 years ago. And everything in the back of the truck is all like, on top of that. So I'm expecting 3 to 4 years. Conky said, how much weight did you have on the hitch caddy? No clue, bro. No clue. Mine says it will handle 300 pounds, but That would make me nervous.
But,
Yeah.
but like, why would you think about that? I'm gonna go get a ton of salt. I don't care what my ratings are for anything. I'm just gonna go do it and let the chips fall where they may. That's
It
how.
got to the house. I mean, that's
Yeah. The next time we pull the trailer, crack.
It's not the trailer. It was that little hitch caddy thing.
Yeah, but
So, yeah,
oh, that
it is now
thing.
lopsided a
Oh,
little
the
bit.
thing
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, the short story with that is when I got done shoveling, I think it took me about 20, 25 minutes.
It was like this when he left. When he got home, it was like angled down
Yeah,
like this.
I bottomed out coming out of like Sam's Club after I got gas because I filled up the gas can for the snow blower and everything too. But I think actually when I got done shoveling, like, I went through the scale and they're like, "Do you know how much you got?" And I'm like, "No, I mean," and they're like, "Man, what do you got in your truck?" Like, I'm like, I came and got salt. And one guy was like, "Well, we know what you got." Of course you do. You have the scale, but 0.86 of a ton.
So a ton is 2,000 pounds, right?
I don't know. All I know is it was a lot of shoveling.
How many pounds is a ton?
And now all the
2,000 pounds.
And now I can't get the totes out of the back of the truck for the extra stuff. So, we have salt. That's for sure. But see, the problem is we have to liberally lay the salt on the driveway because in the back of the driveway, as we have a hill. And what precipitated me going to do this, besides the fact that we ran out of salt, was the fact that I tried to get out the driveway and I was not able to really get out the driveway. So
86%. Oh, Conky, you already did the math. Thank you. We came up with the same number. I can do calculations too. I feel so proud.
So that's how much I shoveled through because basically the totes in the back of the truck I left on the truck, and then I shoveled the salt into 5-gallon buckets, and then I put the buckets in and filled them up. And then I had, it was a lot. It was a lot. That's for sure. So,
but he just loves doing stuff like that. So,
I mean, you can't beat the price.
No, that's for sure. And we don't have to keep going back to the store. Oh, we're out of salt again. Let's go to the store and get another 2 bags.
Or you go to the store and it's out of salt because everybody waited until it snowed. And everybody goes to the store and gets salt.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, because we've experienced that before. Like we had a pickup at the warehouse. We're like, and it snowed. And I'm like, we need salt.
Yeah.
And we were like kind of scrambling around at different locations to try and find some, but good.
Salt is, you get 25-pound bags at Mark's. I saw this the other day, and that's why it's like, all right, I got to make sure I go. I was hoping to do it on my trailer, but I keep scrap on the trailer, metal scrap. So now I got metal scrap on the trailer, but then I got snow on the trailer, so I can't just empty it because then they're going to weigh the snow, and it just makes a whole big deal. So I'm like, you know what?
And the snow apparently is not melting anytime soon.
Oh, I'm going to scrape it off tomorrow, though.
I know.
But anyway. So I'm like, when it snowed, I'm like, all right, we're just going to do this. We're going to throw it in the back of the truck like I did 3 years ago. But then I thought about that little trailer caddy thing. I'm like, okay, I can put it in the truck and then put stuff on that. Whew, I'll tell you.
Was that here at the house or did you have to remember?
That was at the warehouse. That's what I came and picked up yesterday.
Okay.
So
right.
That and a couple totes, the bigger totes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
But yeah, they were surprised. They weren't expecting me to shovel almost a ton of salt, into the truck. And to make it even worse, I lost my favorite Olight. So
what kind of shovel did you use? Just a regular shovel?
Spade shovel. Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Got some muscles going right here. Okay.
But
calculations at Conky Slip and Adventures LLC. Right. Hey, you might be onto something. You might be onto something. There's so many plays on words with that anyway. When you write it out like that.
I will say though, having the salt, so I used to get bags. It was our neighbor Actually, we're right here. That way, yeah. That direction is our neighbor that told me about it. I know they don't know, but it doesn't matter. I
It
point
doesn't
that way, and
matter.
that's where the neighbor is.
Yes.
And he was like, you can go up here and get the salt. And finally 3 years ago I went and did it. And the crazy thing is like, you can shovel it and you can get two different types of salts, treated or not treated. We got treated last time, but then the problem was it wasn't going through the spreader properly, and that was creating an issue. So I went with regular salt this time, but same thing in the salt dome, shoveling the salt. And shoot, I might make a Facebook marketplace post. So start selling 5-gallon buckets for like 20-25 bucks, 4 to 5 buckets. And, we make our money back, and then we have free salt. And then I go get more salt.
And then we run out.
No, we won't run out. I counted the buckets. Trust me, I had to put them in 5-gallon buckets. 4 to 5-gallon buckets is nowhere near what I shovel. That's for sure.
Okay.
So the stuff in the back of the truck was almost 20. Uh-oh.
Mad Dog said, have you ever thought of going to a lost freight auction or a government auction? Or then he also asked,
Government auction, yes.
would we ever buy a hoarder house? No,
I didn't finish reading it.
Oh.
Like some of the ones Rob cleaned out.
Yeah. A lot of work, but good stuff and trash. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think we would do any of those things if they were the right
Scenario, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't just say, yes, we'll take any hoarder house, because, like,
we've been to a few and they're not really the ones you want to pick through and sell the stuff out of. That's for sure.
Like, some of them are just gross.
Yeah.
And I am not good with gross. So that cuts half of our labor out right there.
If it's gross, that
So-
means she's not doing anything. So
I
let
know.
me put it that way.
And then
I'm
you're
sifting through
doing
all the
so
gross.
much. And
Because guess who gets all the gross parts? Basement, attics, crawl spaces, garage.
this lucky one right
Who
here.
gets all the stuff that has all the spiders and nasty stuff in it to clean out? This guy. So
Thank you for doing that.
yeah, that's not how that works when I'm doing it, but yeah. I would say the only thing that bothers me is snakes. So, as long as snakes aren't in it, everybody has their thing, but I mean, I don't care about anything other than, like, if a snake crosses my path, or bee or wasp. I haven't been stung ever in life. So, I do pretty good not worrying about it. But if I was in a space where, there was a beehive, I might freak out.
So
but
there's
I haven't had
also
that happen yet, though.
there's also the level of cleanliness or non-cleanliness, and like if there's some sort of infestation, or if there might be an excess of pets, because, like, in
Mice,
hoarder
roaches, and anything
situations,
else doesn't bother me.
I'm not saying that, but like the cleanliness of any of the items in the house, like if it's excessively dirty or
Mhm.
infested, like, we may not be able to sell this stuff. So, like, it all depends on this on the scenario.
Okay, so this is interesting. So you're telling me if the right option came around and there was snakes involved in the deal, you wouldn't want anything to do with it, even if it was good enough. I didn't say that. All I said is snakes freak me out.
I don't think you're gonna see the snakes until you lift something up and you encounter snakes.
And at that point, I'm already in it. So
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't say the snakes would kill the deal, but that's really the only thing that bothers me. So, if it's roaches, if it's mice, rats, none of that bothers me. Raccoons, raccoon poop, all that stuff that, like, that doesn't bother me. Snakes, but everybody has their thing.
What about that big snake skin at the B&B that we stayed at?
Doesn't bother me,
Okay.
because
it was dead and there was no snake in it.
My thing is, you just won't see me picking up a snake saying, hey, look at this is cute. I mean, you just won't see that.
Gotcha.
if there's a snake there, I might have to pull out the knife and I'll be chopping off heads if I can. I don't know. So it's just, I mean, it's not going to stop us if it's a good deal. Just snakes bother me. That's all.
Gotcha. So, what was the other things? The lost freight auction or government auction. So, do we have those? Like, I haven't really seen those advertised around here. Like, there are local, like police departments that will do abandoned inventory, or what is that called? Not abandoned inventory. The seized inventory auctions, vehicle auctions. We've seen those.
That's
but
similar.
Those are just,
So that's still government.
yeah. Yeah.
But,
So one like that City of Medina that Mark did, that was government. So yeah, we would go to them.
Will we ever do them? Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had the opportunity, we were actually, so we have a guy that comes into our auctions and he buys a lot of interesting stuff, random maybe. But he is like a officer with the Cleveland Police Force. So he actually tried getting us into the Cleveland Police Department to do their online auctions, which would have been government auctions.
Okay. So what happened with that?
Well, I mean, obviously it hasn't moved forward. So
We haven't seen him in a while.
right.
Hope he's doing okay.
So
yeah. I mean, I think I don't want to say we would try anything, but anything that there was, obviously there's always going to be some level of risk, but not a huge risk, and the potential to, make some profit. Yeah.
oh yeah. Sometimes you find something like that on high bid auctions at Global Auction Guide.
Yeah. I think my problem is I don't look on there consistently enough. We look on there for storage unit auctions in the area.
But not consistent enough either.
No.
That way either. So
No. Thankfully, our friends are like, hey, you going to that auction tomorrow? We're like, what auction? Where is it?
We get bogged down with a lot of the resale though. So we have a lot of people, consigners, contracts that come up, and when that happens, you're focused on trying to satisfy the consigner, and the more consigners you have, I won't say we wouldn't look at it more than we're not consistent, because we get bogged down more. And I'll say that because, I think of like, with Rob, like Rob, that's his thing, is the buying agent. He's got some employees, he's got a business partner, and his focus of the business is being the buying agent.
Yeah.
And like, we don't necessarily have that defined yet. So
Nope.
That's why we get bogged down, because we don't have definitions of.
You think you're the buying agent, but then you get fired every other day for trying to buy stuff that.
No comment. Hey, how you doing, Mr. DeWitty?
Hey, Mr. DeWitty.
Mad Dog said, sometimes I find stuff on Facebook Marketplace, great auctions, great estate sales, yard sales, and sometimes you get a chance to buy out the great collection. Actually, we've looked at that, and we've done that a couple times. So
yeah. And I've been thinking about searching on Marketplace more to find more buyout type scenarios and looking for more specific things. Like, for instance, this comic book collection that we have.
Yeah.
We both enjoy selling the comic books on Whatnot, or high bid, but mostly on Whatnot. And so, how can we find more comic book collections?
Right.
Because we see them in storage units sometimes, but like, for instance, this week, we tried to buy several storage units this week, and
Yes.
for multiple reasons it didn't work out. But one of them, and this is the case a lot of times, the price just goes too high. This unit was in Cincinnati, which is 4 hours away from us. So there,
Yes.
we had to figure the travel cost in and all that stuff. But the unit went a little over $5,000 is where
It was
it ended.
5,100 is where it ended, and we were in it up to I think 31, 32.
Yeah, and there was a ton
So-
of comic book boxes in it. But
Yeah, well,
so there was inventory, but then we couldn't
Yeah.
get it.
it's
Or-
like we had that one in Columbus that like it was 10 by 20 and it turned out to be a comic book store, but we were trying to get it, but at $2,000 you just don't know what you're getting. And I think if we had the experience we have now, we probably would have been like, okay, let's move forward and do more, right? But sometimes, again, I always go back to you don't know what you know until you know it. You know what I mean? And with this unit, like we're surprised at what it's doing, but it's doing what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
So, like you in the book you found yesterday, and actually I've seen the book in the warehouse, but she looked up a book and found out we have a book that's the first edition that should sell for, is selling for at least $300 or more on eBay. So, so Mad Dog said, would we see you buy an abandoned property with a lot of stuff in it if the price made sense? Oh yeah. Well, let me correct that. You would see us buy it, but it all depends on the client. So because we're an auction firm, our business, and we are actually auctioneers, it's going to be a matter of what's going to make sense. So we'll either buy it or, it could be an opportunity where we sell it. And in the future, hopefully we have our real estate license where, we can buy, liquidate everything, including the house. So it just depends.
So the book that he was talking about, it's by the author Harlan Ellison, and it's called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. So I made this. This is just a little
Little thing
collage that I made, but it shows that on December 1st, one sold for $321, and on November 2nd, one sold for $349, and then I just put the picture of our book in there as well. What is
Down
how
closer.
that is terrible.
Well, now you can see it though. So that's the book, and yeah. Mr. DeWitty said, sitting in the recliner with the pup holding me in place. LOL.
Sounds
Nice.
very cozy. Sounds awesome.
And Mad Dog said, Rob always knows how many comic books can be held in each comic book box, and I know he loves to gamble on some of those units. Yes. You best believe when we got our unit, Rob did come by and check out the comics, and it is definitely nice to have somebody like Rob that we talk to him at least once a day. So that being said,
no, there's no we in that
Okay.
conversation.
so I talk to him at least once a day. So when we bought the unit, he did come by and look at the comics and wanted to see what we had. And I mean, kudos to Rob. Honestly, he didn't have to do that, but we've got to this point where as we've matured with our friendship here, that he came through and told us what and how we should do our listing. And so I'll just say that.
Yeah.
There's more I could say, but yeah, definitely we know Rob is definitely into those units, and it's not the first time that we would have ever gone against Rob. And the reality is, we have a good relationship that we can talk to each other about, these type of things and learn from each other. That's for sure. So,
Yep. And that horror always sells, Mad Dog said. But so there's in this unit, there's more sci-fi and fantasy than horror.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But there's also detective and mysteries. thrillers, westerns, like Zane Grey and Louis L'Amour, like Marmaduke, and like those old comic strip comic books,
Yeah, yeah.
like Mad Magazine comics, Peanuts, and Charlie Brown.
We sold all the Mad magazine though.
No, we didn't.
No.
Oh,
wow.
the magazines, yes. We
Yes.
have Mad books.
Okay, yeah, the books. Yeah, the books are crazy. As a matter of fact, like we're actually gonna run a whatnot show with books. So because we have so many books that we're I won't say we need to get rid of them, but we're testing the waters because there's application to sell them. I mean, we've been selling a lot through eBay. I mean, eBay already has been crazy with the books, but we have so many books, like we can't list them all on eBay in a
Every book lot
reasonably timely fashion.
every book lot that I've listed on eBay has already sold,
Mhm.
and I put up 3 more lots yesterday on eBay, and I'm just selling them in lots,
Yeah.
typically by author, and we sold one this morning.
For like $40. We sold a couple auctions that got up to like almost $100. One did 100. I think one got to like 80 or 90, but I mean, we've done some auctions. I mean, these books are desirable.
Some of them are, yeah. And then we have one. So Stephen King wrote under a pen name, Richard Bachman, back in the day, 70s maybe. Yeah, because I think the copyright was 1977 for this book. It's called Rage. And there are some that are selling on eBay for in the hundreds to even in the thousands of dollars for this first edition copy that we have in very poor condition. Ours is in very poor condition. So we're going to start it in an auction at $100 and see what
where
happens.
it goes. Yeah. That's the one that went to 1,600 you showed me, right?
I think 1,300.
Okay. Like, it's just crazy. Like, you just don't know. But Chris said, you guys are so lucky you have such decent people in your circle that will help you. That goes for you and J&J both. The circle is interesting, right? And I say that because it's not like we walked into it and said, hey, we want to be in this circle or in this crowd. There is a camaraderie, and it's just like
there was an evolution to the relationships, because
that is true.
When Roy and I first met Rob, we were his customers. We didn't know who he was, except for that he ran this auction business in his warehouse in Cleveland, and we went to it and we bought stuff there. And that's the extent of us knowing him. And that was about 5 years ago.
No, that was
7 years ago. 7 years ago.
I mean, maybe.
So then,
I mean, we have invoices from Rob from 2018.
Okay, that was 7 years ago.
We're almost in 2026.
Okay. 7.5 years ago. Whatever. So
it's like 8 years ago. But
all right. So it's 8 years.
But we knew Rob first, and the short story is we never thought that like where we were then, that like now, I talk to Rob every day,
and
a few times.
So then the progression was, like we were sort of on the outside of the storage unit buying core group.
Yeah, because actually we weren't even in that group when we met Rob.
No,
we were nowhere near that. So
we weren't buying storage units.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, so we
were buying and reselling, and we were starting the auction business, but we weren't really buying storage units like we are now.
Right.
And so just as time passed, and the more we got to know them, and they got to know us, and we got to spend time together, the relationship developed into the friendship that it is now. And it's good that you can meet people organically like that, because it's really hard as adults to, I think, make friends.
Yes.
And so having those people, and then meeting J&J for the very first time at a storage unit facility.
I think it's funny because that's how we met a lot of people, though, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But
even
it's
Jeremy, we met him. You saw him first, and he was recording. You're like, oh, this guy was recording. So we went to the first time I actually saw Jeremy was when he bought the $1,800 units.
Okay.
But you had saw him beforehand. You're like, that's the guy that was recording the other day.
And that's
You
when
know?
I went to a storage unit auction by myself, and
Yeah.
Jeremy was recording, and I said to myself, like, why would anybody want to watch this?
Right. You know, and then
And look, here we are.
we met KT and the Hudsons. I actually met them first, and that was when Rob sold the $1,300 unit to Aaron.
$3,200.
$1,300 or $3,200, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it was $1,300.
It doesn't matter, 32. But I met J&J or the Hudsons and KT at that, and then we had a bond with them. And then J&J, we actually the funny thing with J&J, and I'm gonna say this, is like we were bidding against somebody, right? And funny enough, we ended up outbidding Jeremy on a unit. And I saw the video. We were driving home from Columbus. We were down in Columbus. My sister lives there. We were visiting her. We were driving home. She's sleeping. I'm listening to What the Hell's video. He's like, man, these units are going crazy. And he shows the unit that we beat him out on. And come to find out, when we go to see the unit, J&J bought a sister unit, and they were right there leaving when we were pulling up to the unit. So we saw them, but we didn't know them yet. And then later on, we saw them at a live auction. I was like, you guys were at the unit. And I started talking to Joe, and that's where we started and met J&J. So like the community here is as competitive as it is. I like it, you know. I mean, I really do.
This is what
There's
I
some
say
bitter
about
sweetness to it, but I do like it.
this is what I say it's about like the business too. Like there's enough business for everyone.
Yes.
So we all operate and run our businesses a little bit differently, but there's enough for everyone. So like we don't, even though we may feel competitive at times, we're not really competition.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So we want to see each other win. We also want to have the wins, but I think the biggest thing is we're all I want to say learning from each other, but at the same token, like it's hard to tell somebody, hey, I bought this unit, this is what I found, and somebody to appreciate that. So I think we're all appreciative in understanding that, like, if you buy a unit and you get a great unit, like, you know, you have people you can talk to that understand the wins and losses, like, and that's the camaraderie that, like, I don't think people know. Like, I can tell people that aren't in this business, oh, I found this, and then the minute I find something that's good, they're like, can I buy it from you? You know.
Hi, Natalie.
And I'm not saying that I don't want to sell things, but at the same token, when I have the best finds that I want, like, hey, if I find a pew pew, like those, I find those, we're keeping those, you know. And you can't tell certain people, because then people that aren't in this, you know, atmosphere be like, can I buy it from you? And it's like, no, this is why I do it, so I can, you know, stock up. But
I think Mr. DeWitty bought many things from Rob too. Yes.
Yeah.
We've bought many things. We enjoyed going to his live auction.
Oh,
except for in the winter.
Yeah, when
there was no heat in his warehouse, and the propane heater that everybody was huddled around ran out of gas.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Oh gosh. We were in Layers once, and I had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I don't want to go to the bathroom.
Oh, Mad Dog said, I've never seen that many YouTubers buy as many units as Rob. The only one that I can think of is Close, Wade's Adventures in Locker Lunatics. Yeah, Rob.
He buys a lot of units.
Yeah. That he does. I am not going to lie.
And it's fun to go to his warehouse and look at all his stuff. It's really kind of amazing.
Not only does he buy a lot of units, but like people don't realize how hard he works on editing the videos too.
Yeah.
Like he records his videos, and I mean, we could be at a live storage auction, and in between units, Rob's editing videos. He came to the and I gotta give him kudos. Jeremy wasn't able to get back up here for his for the whatnot auction we do at the live auction school, and Rob came in early. And funny enough, Rob actually sat in the parking lot, and I mean, and this is not unusual. We've got together and like everybody's leaving and going home, and he goes to his car and he edits videos. Like, I will give Rob a lot of credit that for the work he puts into his YouTube, for the work he puts into buying units and his business. So I will definitely say he has definitely been a good mentor for us. That's for sure.
Yep.
So, and I mean that wholeheartedly. He has been a mentor, and he doesn't have to give us information or help us out. And it's not like we've asked him to, but like to be able to talk to him. Like I could tell him, oh man, we're having this happen. And except for one small occasion, everything he's already been through, and he's been able to help us kind of stay on track and see how to overcome certain things because he's already been there, So, I mean, it's nice to have that opportunity.
Yep. So we had auctioneer school this week,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the first time I was at auctioneer school as an auctioneer.
Yes.
So it wasn't much different. Roy still taught the class, and
it's because she doesn't want to talk yet. She was like, I'm like, all right, what part of this presentation do you want to take care of? And she's like, well, my credibility. And it's like, you've been doing this way longer than you had an auctioneer license, but she'll get into it. I think the reality is sometimes getting in front of people can be a little overwhelming. But
so the thing about it is you have skills as a teacher. I know myself, and that's not where my skill set is. So like the way you present the information is very understandable and relatable, and you do it.
But there's stuff you want to add. So I think, it's just a matter of knowing what you want to.
I don't know. There's not really stuff that I want to add because you kind of got it down pat. So I'm just there to pass out the pens and business cards and look pretty.
See, no comment. But we did do the auctioneer school. There was 10 people.
Yep. Two women.
Okay, I was about to say how many I'm counting.
Which, like in my class back in September, there were 16 students total, and there were 4 women. So, Mark, I mean that's typically been the ratio. There's always more guys to girls, but Mark did say he had one class where it was the opposite, where it was a small class, maybe 6 students, but there were 5 women and 1 man.
And see, that's where I say, like, even like the panel, like she's like, I'm not getting on the panel. And it's like, but she has a different perspective that I think she could bring to all of that. So we'll get her into it, believe me. But it was a different class though. It really was a little different.
It was?
Yeah. Well, we had to pick up the whatnot portion, which,
Oh, because Jeremy wasn't there.
Yeah. And honestly, okay. So I'm going to say it like this. And I told Rob, like so we get 8:30 till noon. Then we go to lunch. And to be on for that long and then go into a whatnot sale live auction, that's another, that's more different energy. So Jeremy actually generally picks that up, and it's been nice because he would pick that up when I'm like just, getting back to, getting back to, the energy it takes to have I would say the control, right? I don't know how to explain it, but to command the front position
right
for so long, it drains a lot of energy. So by the time we get to the whatnot, you have to have even more energy to get out there and really entertain people. And so Rob came in and he helped supplement a lot of that too. So that was it made it a little different, but I think we did pretty good though. You
Oh,
know,
I think it was.
I really do.
It was fine. It just didn't have Jeremy's flair to it. That's all. But it was
Yeah.
it was fine. It went well, and the students did what they were supposed to do. And
Yeah. And then I surprised everybody with an extra panel member that so when we went out and bought the trailer, I liked the way that they set up their auction. And they I spoke to the dad, who was kind of the name of the business. And now the son is really the one that runs the business, even though the dad is still a big part of the business. But I talked to them. They went to the same school. The son came in and he was on the panel, and they do something. I mean, auctions are auctions, but like they sell a lot of cars is one of the big things. So I thought that was a great addition because if you're an auctioneer, there's so many different ways you can auction and sell and make money. It doesn't have to be the stuff we do. It doesn't have to be buying storage units or liquidating houses and doing estate sales. It could be, this particular company, they came in and they do a lot of automotive stuff. So they have a dealer's license. They do a mixture of online with some live simulcasting, kind of like a hybrid, I call it. So to have them come in and talk a little bit about what they did actually opened up a lot of the floor for people to ask a lot of questions. And they do something Rob used to do pre-COVID, which was a lot of simulcast. So that opened up the door for, an area that he generally doesn't get to speak of because it's a lot of online. So now it kind of, outweighed, or balanced the scales, I'll say. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. It's a different perspective.
Yes.
No, Mad Dog just said that.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different perspective on buying and selling. Some
Yeah.
people like it organized, and some people are okay with it's a little messy. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Oh no, Mr. DeWitty got one that had two pool tables that were apart and he had to give them away. Pool tables are hard because depending on if they're the like really, really heavy or big ones.
Yeah.
Or if they're, the smaller, I don't know what those smaller tables are, but anyway, like they can be a pain in the butt.
Bumper pool?
Yeah, well, not bumper pool, but there's like a smaller table. I don't remember. There's probably a special name for it, but yeah. You see those listings on Facebook Marketplace sometimes where they're like, free pool table, you have to come and disassemble it and carry it out of our basement.
Right. Like, no. Some people will, but.
So we sold a pool table once out of a unit, and the couple that came in there for their Toyota Sienna van, which is what I drive, and they got that pool table in their van. I don't know how, but so that tells me that it wasn't a full-size pool table. I don't know what dimensions a full-size pool table is, but it seems like it wouldn't fit in a van. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
That's a nice one. How I got the move from the unit. How did you get a move from the unit? That's always
Antique Brunswicks.
Yep. Like maybe when we get done clearing out the basement to move everything up here for our YouTube studio, maybe we can get a pool table.
No.
Before Lisa moved in, I used to have my poker table down there.
I love playing pool though. I do love playing pool. And I would love to have a pool table in a space with a big garage door where you could like just move it in and then move it out when you needed to. Like in like a man cave or something out in your
it won't be out in mine, but maybe it'll be in your outhouse.
What? What won't be out in yours?
I said the pool table.
You don't want a pool table in your man cave?
No.
Oh, okay.
My man cave is gonna have a few things in it, but I don't think I'll have room for a pool table.
Okay.
So I mean, it'd have to be pretty big at that point because it's got to have a lift, house my cars, motorcycles, my tools,
Gotcha.
my sofa, my TV, and everything. Like basically, it's got to be like my man cave condo.
Yeah. But no room for a pool table in your man cave condo.
Well, who's going to be playing pool with me? It's going to be me kicking it in my condo.
By yourself? I mean, like you won't invite friends over
I don't know.
or your wife one time out there to hang out with you? No, apparently not. Fine.
Anyway.
More time for me in the house by myself.
I'm sorry. That was funny.
Mad Dog said that I'm sure his man cave is going to have some Transformers and toy cars.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
But toy cars for me are not going to be like toys, though. That probably won't be the case.
Well, I mean, that's not exactly what he meant anyway.
Like I'm gonna have in my man cave, it's gonna end up having a car lift. I know not too long ago, years ago, well, when my kids were growing up, we lived in an area. It wasn't like out in the country, or nothing like that, but I used to drive by a house not too far away from where we were at, where they had a 3-car garage, and when the garage was open, they had 2 Corvettes in there, and they had a lift. And I saw an old guy in there once, and he was like shining the rims on one of the Corvettes. Like, so my man cave will have a car lift, and I'll
So you can
tinker with
shine
my
your
cars.
rims
I'm not going to shine rims
on your
but,
pickup truck?
I got to have a project car, and I'll probably tinker away and do all the things that I'd love to be doing right now. But since I don't have a lift and it's snow and it's cold, and it's like right now, I need to change the oil in my truck, but that's not about to happen. Or I know there's a couple oil seals I want to replace on the oil pan, or the there's a couple things I need to do. Like I would be doing that kind of work in my spare time because I like to do that.
Yep.
Mr. DeWitty lifts are great. Yep. Conky, I bought my lift as soon as I built my garage. Never once regretted that purchase.
Yeah.
So
Chris said, what's your dream car?
Dream car. Ooh, I can't say I have a dream car. I could say there are cars that I'd love to have. Actually, let me circle back. Dream car. The one car, and I could have got it years ago for about $3,500, but I couldn't pull the trigger. My kids were young, and I didn't want to end up having to. I mean, I think my daughter was maybe, actually, I think she was on her way. And my son was 3 years old. So that car was I think a 1981 or 83 Pontiac Trans Am. So that would, Smokey and the Bandit, that's the year, I grew up looking at Trans Ams and Firebirds. So if I could be a Trans Am, that would be the dream car. But
is that the one with the flaming eagle on the?
Well, there is a formula, but yes,
Okay.
It is. It has the flaming Firebird on it.
Yes, that's what I want. I want you to have that.
But if I could have a car, like once upon a time, I was working on and wrenching, and a friend of mine brought a car back here to Ohio from California. It was a 1964 Plymouth Belvedere with push button transmission. Had not even 25,000 miles on it.
Is that was that advanced for its time? Because now we have push button.
No, you don't have push button now. You have gear shifts.
Oh,
But,
I'm thinking of pushing to start the car.
but it was the fact that it was like an old school 1964, and it got wrecked, and I got it for, I think I got it for $400. And I pulled everything apart, and all I needed to do was find the gearbox to put it back together, and life happened and I lost the car. So I never got it back together, but that's something I would be interested in, like that, a 68 Firebird or a Camaro. If I could, the first car I'd probably get though would be more like a 72 Monte Carlo. Like that's the biggest one that sticks out, probably do that first. But dream car wise, Trans Am. I know that's a lot of info, but I mean, yeah, I think about this stuff, and I go deep. And Mr. Doherty said, I would like a Trackhawk. Yeah, yeah. Chris said a 72 Dodge Charger. Ooh. My daughter actually, she went to school. She was in high school, and in 11th grade and 12th grade, she went to this technical school instead, and she got into the auto mechanics. We almost got her a 73, what was it? A 73 Dart. That's what it was. So we almost got her a 73 Dart so that she'd have a car that she could take to school and work on. And she was really into, an old school like that. So we almost got that for her, but unfortunately that didn't end up working out. Conky 69 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. So we can go on about cars, but that'd be the man cave. My man cave would be tools, lifts, and those kind of toys. So pool table.
I don't care if there's a pool table or not. So
I know.
I just thought you might want one, but obviously you don't. Now we know.
I just need a place to go work on my projects.
Yep.
But anyway, so I did want to say, Mr. DeWitty, I used to build my own cars. As a matter of fact, if it works out, we have somebody we've been in the talks with and liquidating the custom shop that the husband who passed. We're looking at liquidating that. So once we get the contract back, we'll be working on liquidating. They did custom cars and they did a lot of rebuilds on engines, and they were Rolls-Royce engines. So a lot of Rolls-Royce engine parts. But I do want to share this little mail call. What do you think?
Sure.
Uh-oh. There we go. So we got this today at 4:25. So
from that lovely lady.
Yes.
We blocked out her name.
Yes, we did. But it's a regular, and it's just nice when we get nice opportunities to recognize some of our client or customers. She's shot from us several times, but she usually picks up. So I thought this was a good highlight for us. And what she said was she got her package and wanted to say thank you so very much. Just noticed on the auction that one of the lots said no shipping and you shipped it anyways. I just wanted to express my gratitude. You did not need to do that. And I feel so bad that I didn't realize that that lot wasn't part of the shipping option. So just wanted to take a moment and thank you again for all of you guys' kindness and extra effort. You always put into every single auction. It's why I absolutely love seeing your notices that you are having a new auction up. Again, happy holidays. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and thank you. So just wanted to share that a bit because, whenever we get a piece of mail or somebody sends us something, and in this case, it was an email, we do online auctions. And yes, we could have easily not shipped it, but a lot of times when we're doing the shipping, it really I hate to say it depends. It's a case-by-case basis, but there's some times that we definitely won't. If we have to, more than likely, it's a matter of if we have to go to the store and buy a box and do all this to make a shipment work. That's a lot of time, energy just to get to the store to find a box to ship your items. So, and in other cases, we may tell people, hey, that was non-shipping. And in some cases, it's non-shipping for a reason, but it may be able to work with the shipping, right? And we'll just ship it. So we do our best. People spend money, people shop with us. We could have set up for her to come another time, but it just worked out. She asked if we could just ship it since she couldn't actually make it. And I didn't think twice. I just looked at the items and complained a bit, but I did go ahead and ship them. Oh, they weren't bad. It was just like,
It was a bigger lot of like smaller breakable things.
yeah, it was just some fragile
So-
stuff where, I worry, my biggest thing is like, if I'm packaging stuff, I want it to make it through the shipping,
Yeah.
and that's my biggest worry sometimes. So like if we have a lot full of fragile stuff, and I know there's going to have to be a lot of packing or packing material, it concerns me because then if it gets to you and it's broken, how do you feel? So sometimes that's part of it too. But I did go ahead and package it properly. It fit. It wasn't anything egregious, so. And it was nice to see somebody recognize that I probably could have looked and said, we're not going to ship it, but I did. So it's just like J&J recently. I shipped him that salsa, and I was talking to Joe, and he's like, hey, if it breaks, I'm not going to blame you for it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I do pretty good with glass, but I'm like, if it breaks, like, it's going to be salsa everywhere.
Then the whole box is ruined,
Yeah.
basically.
So,
Because there was other stuff in it too, wasn't there?
yeah. So,
Yeah, Chris said lots of peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
but it just depends because you put a lot of peanuts in it, but some boxes have arrived to some people like they were ran over.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate thing. Sometimes you hope that doesn't happen. So but knock on wood, we've been good so far.
Yep.
So but just wanted to share that. And if that particular person is watching our live or the rerun of it, we just wanted to take a second and acknowledge that we appreciate that. Conky, pack some chips next time so UPS Drive has something to stack on if it breaks open. What you got?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, we appreciate everybody that's been here with us. If you have any questions, feel free to ask the auctioneer. She has all the answers for you. And hey, let's take a moment and Q&A. Anybody got any questions for us? Or for the auctioneer?
Is everybody getting ready for the holidays? Is everybody procrastinating for the holidays?
Oh, yeah.
It's what? 13 days until Christmas.
Mm-hmm. So we're almost to the 12 days.
Yep. We have like Christmas parties 3 Saturdays in a row. But really nothing planned on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So we might have to think about doing something different. I don't know.
Conky.
We have about a month, yeah, give or take a couple weeks.
Oh, depends on when the holiday is for you.
Oh, Mad Dog says, what is your favorite Transformer toy?
Ooh, my favorite. Well, actually, my favorite that I never had was Megatron. So we actually earlier this year did a estate sale, and the brother actually had a Megatron in the box, and I was able to purchase it. So I did have Optimus Prime. I did have one of my other favorites was Hot Rod, who turned into Radimus Prime after Optimus Prime was killed in the original Transformers movie. So I had them, but I never could capture Megatron. So I actually have them now. But I had a house fire, so I don't have the other ones. So I don't have any of my other Transformers I grew up with. And actually, when I look at it, I had a lot of them. I had the Constructicons. I had, quite a few of the Autobots, Decepticons, almost a good amount of them when I see them. But I never could get Megatron. And the only couple times I saw him, I wasn't able to get. At that time, my mom to get them for me. She was like, "No, you don't need them." So, but I have them now. So.
I think that's one of the reasons why those toys are so popular. Not that everybody, experienced a house fire, but maybe not everybody's parents kept them. And, as adults, they're nostalgic for their childhood.
Yep.
And so, I still can't believe we sold the Wonder Bread He-Man for over $500, like a little figure.
Yep.
Just crazy.
That was a good one. Yeah, I never had that one.
Put that on that.
But I did have tons of He-Man. I had G.I. Joe. I had my original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I never really got into PlayStation. But I had, a lot of those Nintendo games, and all that burned in the house fire. And it happened the day my daughter was born. So it was kind of crazy. I was in the hospital, and, I had a buddy kept calling me, and finally I ended up answering the phone. He's like, "Turn the TV on, your apartment's on fire." And yeah. But yeah, Dog said, "I did love the Gold Rock Transformer." So.
All right. Well, I think we're going to end for the evening. Wishing you all a great weekend. Stay warm and safe out there if you're going to experience any weather issues. I know we got some weather coming in. I don't know what we're really going to get here.
Oh, I'm sorry. That distracted us, but had G.I. Joe and blew him up within the 80s.
Wow, he was obliterated probably.
Oh, who didn't have fun doing that? But go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wonder Bread He-Man was a mail away, and yes, it was. And actually, funny enough, the house that we liquidated, nothing was great. And then they brought over, after we it was just run of the mill. We were liquidating the house. It was the person we were dealing with. It was his parents. They had passed over 10 years ago, I think, was when his mom passed, and his father passed a little bit before that. But as we got done cataloging everything, it was like, it was a referral. So we were doing the sale. And then they're like, "Yeah, we got a little bit more stuff," because we had to break it up with another sale we had to catalog. And when we came back, it was all their kids stuff that are like our age. And yeah, they had the Wonder Bread He-Man. It was like, wow, they had everything. Castle Grayskull, Skeletor's, lair, like all the He-Man figures, it was just ridiculous. But yeah. So, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Merry Christmas, and hope to see you. Hey, if you are popping in to see us next week, it won't be Christmas yet. So,
no, we'll be here next Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a live auction going, or we have an online auction going now. It ends Sunday night. And we may have a Whatnot show coming up here shortly.
Yeah. So a couple of them. So stay tuned. We appreciate every one of you. And you all have a great night.
Bye.